All right, everyone. Listen closely, because what you're about to hear could be one of the biggest turning points in Iraq's modern history. Something huge has just happened behind closed doors involving the U.S. Treasury and one of the world's most powerful financial institutions, J.P. Morgan Chase. And it's already sending shockwaves through Iraq's entire banking and financial system. Many experts are saying this is not just another headline, it's the beginning of a full-scale financial reset. And for those following the Iraqi Dinar story, this could be the moment we've all been waiting for. So grab a drink, settle in, and stay with me until the end, because what's happening right now could redefine Iraq's economy forever. In recent days, the U.S. Treasury Department and J.P. Morgan finalized a brand new agreement with Iraq's central bank that completely changes how Iraq handles its international money flow. This deal isn't a rumor, it's official and already being implemented. Under this new system, Iraq's import payments, oil revenues, and foreign trade transactions will all move through a supervised clearing network managed by J.P. Morgan and a select group of American financial partners. This means every dollar entering or leaving Iraq will now move through a transparent, closely monitored system designed to stop corruption, stabilize currency flow, and open Iraq to trusted global markets. For years, Iraq has faced serious financial challenges, from illegal dollar smuggling to weak international credibility. Billions have leaked out of the country through corrupt deals and unregulated cash operations. But this new partnership signals a major shift. The U.S. Treasury has essentially stepped in and said, "We're going to help Iraq clean up and modernize its system once and for all." And when a global powerhouse like J.P. Morgan gets involved, you know it's not just another reform plan. It's a transformation backed by one of the most respected names in world banking, managing more than $3 trillion in assets worldwide. J.P. Morgan's involvement isn't random, it's strategic. When a top-tier financial institution forms a long-term partnership with a country like Iraq, it means something big is on the horizon. The goal is clear: to bring Iraq into a trusted, compliant, and modern financial network where every transaction meets international standards. For Iraq, this is not only about convenience, it's about survival and growth. For years, the country's outdated systems have held back its economic potential. Now, under U.S. and J.P. Morgan guidance, Iraq is finally getting a chance to compete on the global stage again. Here's why this matters so much. Under this new structure, J.P. Morgan will manage and oversee Iraq's international trade payments, especially those tied to oil exports and foreign imports, under direct supervision from the U.S. Treasury. That combination means Iraq's money will now move safely, legally, and transparently. It's a major shift from the past, where unchecked cash dealings and weak oversight created openings for fraud. This change could finally restore confidence among international investors who have been waiting years for signs that Iraq is serious about financial reform. The bigger picture here is what analysts are calling an Iraq reset. For 2 decades, Iraq's economy has had the potential for greatness, with vast oil wealth, smart entrepreneurs, and young talent, but a broken financial structure kept it from thriving. Now that structure is being rebuilt. The U.S. and J.P. Morgan are essentially constructing the digital backbone of Iraq's new economy. They're transitioning the country from a paper-based, cash-heavy system into a modern, digital, and globally integrated financial network. That modernization is key to unlocking Iraq's currency power. To have a globally traded and respected currency, your banking system must meet international compliance and transparency standards. That's exactly what this new partnership is helping Iraq achieve. It's not just about dollars or oil, it's about rebuilding global trust. When trust returns to a nation's financial system, its currency begins to strengthen naturally. That's how financial revaluations begin, not with hype, but with real, measurable progress. Iraq's central bank even confirmed this agreement aims to simplify global payments, fight illegal transfers, and prepare for stronger currency stability. The central bank also emphasized that J.P. Morgan will serve as a trusted intermediary for U.S. dollar transactions while helping Iraq move toward digital settlements. That means fewer piles of physical cash changing hands and more secure electronic transfers that can be monitored and verified. This digital transition is something international institutions like the IMF and World Bank have been urging Iraq to implement for years, and it's finally happening. Every step toward transparency brings Iraq closer to global credibility, which is the true foundation for any currency revaluation. This new system isn't short-term. It's a long-term framework to protect Iraq's foreign reserves, stabilize its financial market, and block manipulation. When money becomes clean, traceable, and efficient, confidence rises, and when confidence rises, value follows. This isn't just theory. It's how economies rebuild themselves after decades of instability. Iraq is now at that very stage, taking control of its finances and building a reputation of reliability that international investors can trust again. Let's look at this move from the U.S. perspective. Why would the U.S. Treasury take such an active role in Iraq's banking system? The answer is strategic influence. Iraq holds the world's fifth largest proven oil reserves. A financially strong and transparent Iraq becomes a powerful ally for global trade and energy stability, and a balancing force in a region often affected by economic and political volatility. So, this U.S.-led reform isn't charity, it's smart global economics. A stable Iraq means steady oil trade and reduced regional risk. By bringing J.P. Morgan into the mix, the U.S. ensures Iraq's reforms are not only implemented but also enforced. J.P. Morgan acts as both a financial guardian and a modernizer, building trust while preventing corruption. Every dollar that leaves or enters Iraq through this network will now pass through a monitored and transparent pipeline. That alone could stop billions in illegal activity and send a strong signal to the world that Iraq is open for legitimate business again. Now, let's address the question on everyone's mind. What does this mean for the Iraqi dinar? The truth is, no currency revalues overnight. But every major revaluation in history began exactly like this, with strict financial reforms and trusted global partnerships. You can't build a strong currency on weak foundations. Iraq is finally strengthening those foundations by cleaning its financial system, connecting to international clearing networks, and earning oversight from the world's top financial players. Once trust builds, value follows. It's that simple. Think of this as the setup phase before the next major leap. Iraq is sealing leaks, cutting corruption, and rebuilding credibility. That's how you create the environment where a currency can rise naturally. The more stable Iraq's system becomes, the more comfortable investors and foreign governments feel holding and trading its currency. It's not speculation anymore, it's economics in action. That's why many financial observers are calling this one of the most important developments in Iraq's modern financial history. Another overlooked part of the story is the digital infrastructure J.P. Morgan is helping Iraq build. Beyond managing transactions, the bank is designing the backbone for Iraq's digital payment systems that will soon allow faster, safer, and more efficient transactions across borders. Once Iraq's payments are digitized, they can connect directly with global forex platforms. That's when the Iraqi dinar could finally gain real traction in the international market, when it's backed by technology, transparency, and trust. Behind the scenes, global analysts and economists are already labeling this as the final preparation stage for Iraq's return to full financial sovereignty. One European expert noted that once Iraq's payments go through J.P. Morgan under U.S. Treasury oversight, the dinar becomes globally credible. That's been Iraq's missing piece for years: credibility. The country has always had wealth, but not the trust. Now, step by step, it's earning that trust back. That credibility could soon attract investors who had once written Iraq off as too risky. And this time, things truly are different. For years, we've seen promises, announcements, and delays. But never before has the U.S. Treasury been directly involved as a hands-on partner, not just as an observer. And never before has J.P. Morgan been tasked with physically executing Iraq's financial operations. That's not talk, that's action. The world's largest financial power and one of the top banks are rebuilding Iraq's system from the ground up. This time, they're making sure structure replaces speculation and that accountability replaces chaos. Here's something most people haven't noticed yet: Other countries in the Middle East are watching this transformation closely. Nations like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the UAE are paying attention to how Iraq handles this transition. If Iraq's financial reset succeeds, it could spark similar partnerships across the region, leading to cleaner, more connected economies. That's how regional growth begins, with one country proving reform is possible. And right now, Iraq is setting that example with global powers standing beside it. From the U.S. point of view, this partnership also reinforces the strength of the U.S. dollar while preparing for a more balanced future. The world is moving toward digital currency systems and transparent banking. By helping Iraq modernize, the U.S. is ensuring that global trade remains anchored to systems it trusts, even as more currencies gain fair international value. It's a move that benefits both sides. Iraq gains stability, and the U.S. strengthens its strategic and economic footprint in the region. So, where does all this lead? The likely sequence is already unfolding. J.P. Morgan takes control of Iraq's dollar clearing process. Iraq gradually shifts more of its trade transactions into dinar, reducing dependency on U.S. cash while keeping transparency high. Foreign reserves increase, investor confidence grows, and soon Iraq's currency may be recognized globally at a stronger rate. Once the IMF and World Bank step in to support Iraq's digital expansion, a full re-entry into international forex markets becomes possible, something Iraq has been preparing for years. This entire process won't take decades. It's already in motion. Iraq's reforms in 2025 align perfectly with the global banking shift toward digital finance and international transparency. And this alignment isn't coincidence, it's coordination. For those who've held faith in Iraq's recovery, this is validation. The pieces are finally fitting together in a way that points toward progress, not just promises. And this time, it's happening with powerful partners ensuring the job gets done. For holders of the Iraqi Dinar, or those simply watching from the sidelines, the message is clear: progress is real. It's slow, strategic, and structured, but it's happening. Every major reform brings Iraq one step closer to its true economic potential. This isn't hype. It's the natural result of accountability and modernization. When a country transforms its financial system from the inside out, its currency will inevitably follow. Maybe not this week, maybe not next month, but soon, because economic truth always catches up. After years of delay, doubt, and false starts, Iraq is finally delivering real results. The U.S. Treasury is directly involved. J.P. Morgan is leading implementation. The central bank is cooperating. And the dinar sits at the center of it all, waiting for the confidence and stability that could push it to its true value. This is no longer a dream. It's a structured roadmap unfolding step by step. Iraq is becoming a model for financial rebirth in a world hungry for stability. And that's what makes this story so powerful. Iraq's journey isn't just about numbers on a screen. It's about a nation rebuilding its financial identity, reclaiming control, and earning back global respect. For decades, Iraq has been defined by its struggles. But now, it's starting to be defined by its progress. And as these reforms deepen, that progress will speak louder than any promise ever could. The world is watching, and for the first time in decades, Iraq is finally ready to shine. So, as we close today's report, remember this: the U.S. Treasury and J.P. Morgan didn't just sign an agreement, they ignited a movement. They laid the foundation for Iraq's financial independence, stronger trade, and perhaps one day, a truly revalued dinar. The transformation won't happen overnight, but the groundwork is done. Iraq is stepping into its future with the world's strongest financial allies by its side. And that, my friends, is history in motion. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Iraqi Dinar News. Because this story is far from over, in fact, it's just beginning. I'll be here breaking down every step in simple, clear language so you can understand exactly where this journey is heading. Until next time, stay patient, stay informed, and remember, Iraq's financial reset has begun and the best is yet to come.